Sports app.
Discover it. Discover car key matchup this week. USC at Washington. Discover it Miles car. They match Miles. 35,000 becomes 70 in the first year. Sign up today. Limitations apply. Discover.com/travel. Discover.com/travel. By the way, Joy Taylor's got some breaking news here, Joy, on Cam Newton.
Yes, Schefter tweeted that the Panthers have ruled out Cam Newton from Sunday's game against Houston due to his foot injury. So Kyle Allen will be getting the start again.
Texans secondary, not great. Kyle Allen picked apart Arizona's secondary, so that's a very winnable game. So Cam Newton's ruled out week 4 against the Texans, or as John sarcastically said, he's been ruled out until Kyle Allen. What was your line there, John, Mr. Snarky?
Until Kyle Allen's no longer better than him.
That is just unfair and uncalled for.
I mean, clearly Cam Newton is literally injured.
Yeah, I know, but
I'm not taking away from the fact that he has digressed a lot, and he's not playing to the level that we expect of him, but he's also clearly injured.
Yes. I'm tired of people telling me, I'm tired of the constant, there's not enough players around him. They've had 3 different players be Pro Bowlers on the offensive line. There are 2 receivers now, and McCaffrey are outstanding. I'd vote Greg Olsen into the Hall of Fame. Ron Rivera has given Cam, in the last 8 years, 5 of 8 years, a top 10 defense. Stop telling me he doesn't have weapons. They've got weapons. Now, Cam is hurt. I'm not denying that. But you watched that game yesterday, you're like, I haven't seen Greg Olsen look like that in years. He gets really open if you throw it to him. Let me say this. I've never given this award out before. We get caught up in free agency in all sports. In the NBA, generally great players equal wins. In the NFL, a lot of these great free agents don't mean squat. They're just fun for us to talk about. The Raiders signed a bunch of stars, and the Jets signed a bunch of stars, and they could be outside of Miami, the 2 worst teams in the league. That what I look for is your draft and mid-level free agent signings. And so I thought last year the Colts had the best offseason. They went out and they got a Pro Bowler offensive lineman, a Pro Bowler linebacker. I thought they had the best offseason. But I got to tell you something. Green Bay went and got Preston Smith, productive, filled a need at a reasonable price. Zadarius Smith, productive, filled a need, reasonable price. And then they got Amos, the safety. All 3 boxes checked. Then they went and got that safety out of college from Maryland. Right now, Green Bay's new pieces on defense have 6 sacks and a pick. And I'm going to give out my first ever Golden Pen Award for the best signings of the offseason. Green Bay has nailed it. Like we get caught up on the Raiders and the Jets and the fireworks and the Le'Veon Bell, and this is a salary cap league. That's all this is, man. It's a salary cap league. So if you're paying your running back 15, then you're paying your right guard less than you want to pay a high-quality right guard. Green Bay figured out 2 years ago, we're going to have to pay Aaron a fortune. So they started drafting 2 years ago defense. And they just went all defense in their drafts. And this year, they went all defense in their drafts outside of I think it was a tight end and a center I like. But I thought they did a really smart job to get productive guys at a good price who fit their system and their needs. And by the way, don't worry about Aaron Rodgers. The scoring has gone up every week. The passing numbers have gone up every week. They've played 3 of the top 6, 7 defenses in the NFL. Chicago could have the best defense. Minnesota may have the best overall roster in the league. They just can't get the quarterback right. And, you know, Denver is the best 0-3 team in the league. They got hosed by the officials at home against Chicago, and yesterday they were in this game. So the offense will be there for Aaron Rodgers. Don't worry about that. But the best off-season signings, the Golden Pen Award, this is very, very prestigious. If you ask people around the NFL, okay, they've never heard of it. But they will in time. They will hear about this. It would be very prestigious in a very short order.
I like this award.
The Golden Pen Award.
Yeah, and it's very deserving for the Packers to finally, make those signings after realizing their bold strategy of completely ignoring the defense for a couple years didn't work out.
But 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, for 8 years, they lost their pens. Anybody got a pen around here? No, we don't have any. And in the last 2 years, and by the way, I think Joy and I both talked about this. These were not, Preston Smith is a great player. We said this all off season. They're like, Man, what a Washington. You pay Preston Smith. That's like he's a really good player. And it was funny because when you looked at this morning, we looked at the top 10 free agent signings in the offseason. None of the Packers guys were on there. None of those guys got any credit. But we kept saying, I thought Indianapolis, by the way, went and got Justin Houston. Again, didn't pay him anything relative to what good pass rushers make. So, and Aaron Rodgers is going to be fine. The defense is going to be the MVP of the Green Bay Packers until Thanksgiving. Matt LaFleur and Aaron Rodgers, it's going to work. These are good defenses. Don't worry about it. Aaron Jones, they always produce good offensive lines. Devontae Adams. But congrats to Green Bay. They figured out 2 years out. We got to pay our quarterback a fortune, and we're just going to go all in on one side of the ball, and this is what you get. That Green Bay defense. Now, I know they faced Kirk. I know they faced Trubisky. I know they faced Flacco, and it'll take a while for it to kind of, jibe perfectly. But there's all sorts of speed now. Preston Smith and Zadarius Smith are just really, really good NFL players. Calling right, calling wrong next.